This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. After our daughter fell ill, my wife's first love provoked me. He took away the home where I had lived for 5 years and told me to leave with our daughter. I knelt half down at my wife's feet, begging her to at least look at our daughter, to stay with her through her final moments. After our daughter's peaceful rest, whether they stayed or left, whatever they wanted to do, I would accept it. But my wife, Serena, took the chance while I was out with our daughter for a medical checkup to remodel Alice's room. That day, the only one happy was her first love. The one who lost his mind was her. Serena, why did you redecorate Alice's room without talking to me? We're not divorced yet. I shouted at her in frustration, knowing that Alice's fragile health could not handle the formaldehyde from the renovation. She must have known that well. Huh, why haven't you moved out yet? Serena frowned, slightly displeased. Move out? Where would we go, Serena? Right now, I don't earn a single cent besides this body. To better take care of Alice, I became a full-time dad right after her 100-day weaning. There was no other choice, since neither of our parents could help us. And after the third nanny was fired, Serena and I agreed that the one who earned more would work, while the other would provide Alice a happy childhood. As a company vice president, Serena rushed back to work right after Alice's weaning. I accepted without complaint my full-time dad life, because my meager salary was nothing compared to Serena's. At first, I was proud to be a stay-at-home dad, even posting our daily life online. Alice had Serena's delicate fair skin, her features so exquisite. I loved her more every day. A lovely, well-behaved daughter, a hard-working and beautiful wife. What else could I ask for? At first, Serena and I fit together well, getting along smoothly. After work, she would complain about her co-workers or share some jokes from the office. I would tell her about Alice's daily milestones. Rolling over, sitting up, teething, crawling. Serena would always show surprise, hug Alice tightly, kissing her repeatedly, then gently whisper in my ear, "Thank you, honey, for your hard work." At that moment, all hardships seemed to vanish. I held my daughter, embraced my wife, my heart full of happiness. But gradually, Serena came home later and later and traveled on business more often. Early mornings and late nights became normal. Sometimes our daughter didn't see her for 1 or 2 months. I remember once, Serena came home early from a trip, wanting to hold Alice, but Alice cried loudly, clinging tightly to me, refusing to let go. No matter what, she wouldn't let Serena touch her. I thought Serena would shed tears, feel guilt over her daughter and family. I even rehearsed words to persuade her to spend more time with Alice. After all, a child grows only once, and if you miss it, there's no chance to make it up. But she only smiled tiredly, her face full of exhaustion. "If you don't want to hold her, then don't," she said, then went to the bathroom to shower, leaving our crying daughter and a stunned me behind. A man's instinct told me Serena had changed, but I feared I might be overthinking. Work is tiring, and she works hard to provide food, education, and everything for the family. Serena looked exhausted, which made me feel sorry for her. I couldn't share her workload, so I tried to care for her more in daily life. After calming Alice, I quickly made her a bowl of seafood porridge. Her stomach was weak, and every time she returned from a trip, she needed my seafood porridge to soothe it. With a side dish, she always finished every bite. But this time, she only ate half a bowl, unable to continue. "Don't make seafood porridge anymore. I'm a bit tired of it." I was stunned. Tired of it? She was tired of it. It must be tired of it. After putting Alice to sleep, I knelt by the bed and gave Serena a massage. I learned massage techniques long ago to better court Serena. Her shoulders and back were often tense from her high-pressure work. "Serena, was your trip smooth? Anything bothering you?" I still refused to give up, guessing if she was really exhausted from work. "It was fine, but you seem very tired." Alice is in a phase of stranger anxiety. She's not deliberately avoiding you. Don't take it to heart. She'll warm up to you in a few days. It's okay. I don't mind. Don't mind? Why don't you mind? You don't care about Alice's feelings. You don't care about mine. Do you still care about this family at all? I was angry. Why don't you care? Is your heart still at home? Serena frowned and turned to me. "What do you mean? Serena, don't you think you've been acting strange lately? You don't care about anything in this family." "Rocky, don't make trouble. I'm busy and tired. I don't have time to argue with you." She got up, packed 2 sets of clothes, and went to the guest room. Our house is big and nicely decorated, but only the master bedroom has soundproofing, because Serena tends to be noisy in bed and feels embarrassed afterward. Soundproofing was a priority during renovation. Other rooms just have ordinary materials. So when I brought a cup of warm milk to apologize to Serena, I clearly heard her talking to Tony outside the door. "Rocky, moving out of this house, leaving empty-handed, is what you agreed to." Serena crossed her arms, displeased. "I agreed. Whether to leave or stay, I accepted. But I have one condition: to wait. At least wait until our daughter rests in peace. Whatever you want to do after that, I will accept." My voice grew softer. softer. Our daughter was softly resting in my arms. A year ago when Serena first contacted Tony, Alice was diagnosed with a genetic kidney disease. The doctor said she had only a year to live and would need dialysis every day near the end. I refused to believe it. There are so many medical miracles. Why couldn't there be one for my daughter? When first diagnosed, my heart ached like a knife. And despite endless tests, I had a bad feeling. But when the diagnosis was confirmed, it was like a thunderbolt from a clear sky. The first person I thought of was Serena, who was on a business trip. I imagined how devastated she must be. She came back immediately. We cried in each other's arms, staying by Alice's side, fighting for her life together. But when I called her, she paused only a few seconds, then coldly replied, "Oh," and hung up. Looking back, my hatred for Serena grew, but I still wanted to fight for my daughter. "Serena, you're so rich. Why don't you move with your lover to a villa? Why must you have this house? Why? You know Alice's body can't handle any more suffering." The last words came with a trembling voice. I really couldn't understand how Serena could be so heartless, as if Alice, my daughter, wasn't even her own child. Serena's brow furrowed even deeper. Even after she relaxed, the wrinkles stayed between her eyebrows. "No choice, Tony just likes this kind of style. Rocky, don't act like I'm the one who wronged you so much. I have already arranged a place for you and Alice to live. It's you who doesn't want to accept it." I got anxious in one breath, coughing quickly, and my daughter Alice trembled along with my body. I held her tightly with one arm, and with the other, I weakly supported myself on the dining table and slowly sat down. Catching my breath, I said, "Serena, the old countryside house is old and falling apart. Damp and dark, not suitable for Alice's recovery. And it's too far from the hospital. Alice needs dialysis every day." "Mom." Alice was awakened by my coughing. She sat in my arms, rubbing her sleepy eyes, calling me mommy in a soft, childish voice. Serena's face showed a trace of emotion. She even very slightly raised her arm, shifting her body a little. That was the posture of wanting to hold the child. A flicker of hope lit in my heart. Maybe Alice would awaken the Serena she once was. But the next second, Tony pushed the door open, carrying his son Jack with him. "Mom, look what we brought for you." Jack held a stick of candied strawberries, Serena's favorite. Back when we were in university, every winter, I would hold a baked sweet potato in my arms, a stick of candied strawberries in my hand, waiting under the women's dormitory for Serena. Back then, Serena was bright and dazzling, the campus beauty, the best debater, president of the dance club, and one of the city's top 10 outstanding students. Her path was smooth and successful, too smooth, which is why when Tony abandoned her, it was so painful. To be honest, although Serena and I differ in appearance and financial status, I never thought I was beneath her, because without me, there wouldn't be the Serena you see today. I lifted her up at her lowest point, warmed her with my burning heart, even risked my life to save hers. But now that Tony is back, all my efforts have turned to bubbles. "Thank you, Jack. Mom really likes the gift you brought." Serena, whose arms had been slightly open, now fully spread them, hugging Jack into her arms. "Rocky, why are you in my house?" Tony stood beside Serena, his hand on her waist. "My house. Who gave you the courage? Bring your illegitimate son and get out of my sight. Just seeing you is disgusting." My fists clenched. If not for my daughter still in my arms, I really wanted to punch Tony's teeth in. Smack. I only felt my face burn with pain, but my heart was ice cold. "Rocky, I won't allow you to speak about Tony like that. We have already signed the divorce papers. Pack your things and leave quickly." "Serena, no need to get angry at someone like him. Your hand hurts, right? Let me massage it for you." Looking at Tony's groveling, I laughed wildly inside. "All right, Serena, this is the man you liked, the one you loved, your bright first love. You'd rather take the blame, abandon your own daughter, than give up the man you chose. Serena, I'm asking you again, is he the man you abandoned me and Alice for? The man you insist on being with?" I shouted, trembling all over. My daughter clung tightly to my neck, frightened. Serena was stunned by my yelling. A long silence followed. Indeed, in front of her, I had always been gentle. Even when forced to sign the divorce papers, I never said harsh words. But a wolf without teeth, even if it suddenly rages, only temporarily scares the enemy. Sure enough, Tony quietly squeezed Serena's hand. Serena's previously hesitant eyes became resolute and cold again. "Yes." Serena pulled her hand away from Tony, grabbed her phone, and left. "Get out, get out, get out." If I hadn't been away from Serena all these years, why would I have to serve a loser like you? Take your sickly daughter and get lost. I punched Tony in the face. "I don't care what you call me, but if you say one word against my daughter again, I will punch you once. Keep punching until you have no words left." All these years, to better take care of Alice and serve Serena, I worked out constantly, building muscle. That punch was enough for a pretty boy like Tony. Tony wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. "All right, you're brave. I won't argue with you. Grab your junk and leave quickly." The home I had lived lived in for 5 years. When leaving, everything could fit in just one 24-inch suitcase. My heart was full of sorrow. A groveler, a loser, ends up with nothing after licking so much. I carried the suitcase holding my daughter's hand, heading out, but my daughter stopped me at the door. Dad, can we never come back? I crouched down, touched her face. Yes, Alice, be good. Daddy will find a new home. Wherever Daddy is, that will be your home. Dad, my Elsa princess is still in the room. I want to take her. Elsa princess was a gift Serena brought back last year from a business trip to Hong Kong. My daughter treasured it like a precious thing, even had to hug it when sleeping. I nodded, let go of her hand, letting her go back to the room to get it herself. You little brat, don't steal my stuff. Wow. Within minutes, Jack's yelling and Alice's crying echoed from the room. I rushed in, seeing my daughter pushed to the floor, Jack holding her Elsa princess doll. Dad, I didn't steal it. That's my Elsa princess. Wah. I quickly picked up my daughter, lowered my head to hold back tears. After 5 years of being a devoted father, I really can't bear to see my daughter suffer any bit. I snatched the doll back, raising my hand to hit Jack, but Tony came rushing over, grabbing my arm. Don't touch my son. Dad, that's my toy. Jack ran to Tony, pointing at the Elsa princess in my hand. You're lying. Mommy bought that for me. You're the one lying. Serena said everything in this room belongs to me. Upon hearing that, we all looked towards Serena not far away. Mommy, my daughter called in disbelief. To her, Serena was a rarely seen mom, but one who would bring toys after trips, sometimes read stories, play games, and paint doodles together. Jack, Mommy will buy you another one later. This one is for her. No, you said everything in this house is mine. I was careless, but this doll really belongs to Alice. Serena spoke gently to Jack, without any impatience, only tenderness. True love extends to all. First love is sweet, and so is the child of first love. I won't. I said it's mine, it's mine. Even if I destroy it, I won't give it to her. Jack took the doll from me when I wasn't looking, threw it to the ground, stomped on it hard, and threw it around several times. The doll, so light, was broken into pieces, just like my daughter's heart, broken into pieces as well. Anger made my hair stand on end. I put my daughter down, ready to break Jack too, but Serena held him tightly in her arms, protecting him like a shield. Tony also came forward to pull me, but I pushed him tens of meters away. Even if the king himself came today, I would beat Jack until he couldn't move half his body. I grabbed Jack's arm hard, pulling him along with Serena. Rocky, don't make me hate you. Serena's angry voice stunned me. I stared at her with wide eyes. Just because of your lover's son, you want to hate me, to hate your lifesaver, your own daughter, because of the mistress's child. That year the lake at school was truly cold. A thin layer of ice had formed, fragile enough to shatter with a touch. Serena walked toward the center of the lake heartbroken. Sharp shards of broken ice pierced her skin and blood vessels, leaving long trails of blood behind. Unaware, unconscious, her heart abandoned by her lover was colder than the winter lake. It was I who pulled her out just before she sank to the bottom. At that time, the hospital's blood bank was running low, and I donated half of my blood to save her life. How happy I was then. Our blood types matched perfectly. Saving her felt like destiny arranged by heaven. Rocky, I warn you, don't go too far. I've already called security from the property management. Leave quickly before they come and use tasers on you. Serena hid Jack behind her, her face full of caution as she stared at me. My daughter sat on the ground, holding her broken doll tightly, crying so hard she could barely breathe. My heart, it truly ached. I lowered my raised hand, not wanting to argue more with them, and held my daughter as I hurried away. Outside the hospital, in a rundown alley, I rented a small room for my daughter's convenience during treatment. It was a suite divided by partitions. My daughter and I lived in one room. The other room was rented by a woman in her 30s, who had a young girl about the same age as Alice. I thought it would take a long time for my daughter to adjust, but because of this new friend, she quickly fit in. Time passed swiftly between trips to the hospital and the rental. Away from Serena, my daughter became brighter and more cheerful. Gradually, I also became familiar with the woman next door, Haley. Her daughter had leukemia and her husband had abandoned them. Our similar experiences made me sympathize with her. When I cooked, I often made extra for her and her daughter. The two girls played well together. Haley made cute crafts for them and knitted clothes that fit perfectly. Compared to Serena, Haley felt more like a mother to Alice. When my daughter was happy, even the pain of chemotherapy was eased a bit. From the bottom of my heart, I was grateful to her. But when friends joked that we should just live together, I felt a deep resistance and disgust. I have to admit, the unattainable always stirs the heart, and I could never let go of Serena, not because I still loved her, but because I was unwilling to accept it, unwilling that my efforts received no reward, unwilling that I was like an ant in her heart, and even my daughter was affected. I wanted to see her suffer, see her lose her mind, see her rise high and then fall, crawl at my feet and say she regrets it. I imagined imagined hundreds of ways to torment her, humiliate her, mock her. Yet the one thing I did not want was to let her go. My heart had no room for anyone else. Besides, we were still legally married. After the cooling off period, I avoided Serena and did not go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to finalize the divorce. Why should I let that scumbag have it easy? I would drag it out until they both had to live like underground rats. But somewhere something went wrong. Although my daughter seemed to be getting better, a cold sent her into the ICU. The huge extracorporeal membrane oxygenation machine by her side looked like a giant blue whale with an open mouth, ready to swallow her whole at any moment. I stayed outside the ICU for 3 days, my phone ringing nonstop during that time. It was Serena, pressing me to finalize the divorce. She was pregnant. She could not wait any longer. I wandered to the convenience store below the hospital and bought 2 packs of cigarettes. Actually, I had quit smoking a long time ago because Serena had chronic bronchitis. Since the day I started chasing her, I quit smoking. Later, Serena got pregnant. Alice was born. Life went smoothly and I quit completely. Sitting on the ground, holding back a cough, I smoked half a pack, waiting for Serena to arrive. Rocky, I can't stand the smell of smoke. Don't you know that? Serena pinched her nose with one hand, fanning the air with the other. I said nothing. Put out the cigarette. I had given up so many things for Serena. Look at you now like a stray dog. How can Alice live a good life with you? I looked up at Serena, against the light. Her eyes full of disdain and disgust pierced my heart. It felt like hundreds of needles pricking me all over. I rubbed my face, then stood up. Alice's condition has relapsed. Let's go see her. Afterwards, we'll go get the divorce done. I did not look at her again and walked straight to the inpatient department. At the stairway, I turned back and saw she was still there. I'm not going. Look at the time. If we don't go to the Civil Affairs Bureau, soon it will close. I wanted to say if we didn't see Alice now, we might never see her again. But Serena had already started walking toward the hospital entrance. I stepped forward and grabbed her. I'm begging you, just look at her once. In my heart, I still held hope. Maybe Alice would wake and get better if she saw her mother. No. I said no. She's ugly since she got sick. I don't want to see it. It would ruin my mood. I froze on the spot. So there really are mothers who don't love their daughters just because they don't love their husbands. It was me who dragged my daughter down. After a long pause, fine, let's go get the divorce. Serena, I remember every bit of this pain and suffering now. One day I will make you pay it all back. I hope you can bear it then. After my daughter died, she did not survive that winter. I hired a mortician's makeup artist for her. Her cheeks were rosy, her eyelashes long and curled. She lay there quietly, so beautiful it was unreal, like a little angel asleep. Just before pushing her into the crematorium, I could no longer hold back. Grabbing the cart, I slowly crouched down and sobbed uncontrollably. Every little moment of Alice's life plays in my mind like a movie, frame by frame, scene by scene. Her crying loudly as a baby, the sounds of sucking milk, her struggling to sit up, then rolling over, then crawling. Every moment of her growing up feels like it happened just yesterday, but now she just lies there quietly. The smile on her face is made by the makeup artist, who carefully curved her lips. Once I let go of the stroller, she will be my treasure that I can never touch again. Never hear her childish voice saying daddy. I held the stroller tightly with one hand, and with the other I pulled out my phone to call Serena. Serena, come see our daughter. She's so beautiful now, so beautiful. Her skin is rosy and fair, just like an angel. Come see, please. Rocky, we are already divorced. The custody of our daughter was awarded to you. I've paid all her child support until she's 18. What else do you want to stop bothering my life now? I slowly let go of the stroller and stood up, gently touched Alice's face one last time. You're about to give birth, right, Serena? What do you want? Don't be nervous. I'm just concerned. When the baby's born, remember to post about it. I'll bring a gift for the baby. There was a long silence. Then she said, okay. I hung up the phone. Serena, I hope you will like the gift I send for your baby. Life went on at a steady pace. Everyone thought I would fall apart, thought I would end it all to join Alice. After all, I had lost everything. Everything I was proud of was gone. To have and then lose hurts more than never having it all. But I didn't give up. Unexpectedly, I survived and even opened a fried chicken stall near the school, making snacks and treats for kids. Haley's child also never left the warehouse, passed away a few months after Alice. In a season of spring flowers and warmth, the two children have each other in the afterlife through old contacts. I helped Haley open a mahjong parlor next to the neighborhood. Her daughter's medical bills left her with heavy debts, and without paying them off, she had no face to return home, every day wearing a mask. I fried chicken nuggets by the school, watching the kids pass by, and I always thought of my daughter Alice. Thinking of her made me shout even louder. Fried chicken nuggets, fried chicken nuggets. Kids from Galaxy Neighborhood eat free. Boss, why only kids from Galaxy Neighborhood get free food? Because I can run this stall here. Thanks to the support of Galaxy Neighborhood's residents. I must repay them right. After some time, my little stall became very popular. Regulars knew I used good ingredients, and prices were cheap, especially for kids from Galaxy Neighborhood. The food was really free, although only one child from the school lived there. But people praised me for keeping my promise. Haley's situation also improved. Her mahjong parlor was doing well. I often stopped by through my contacts. To keep the peace, all the players were rule-following friends, playing mahjong just for fun. Only Tony, Haley's husband, received extra care. He had reserved rooms in advance, was served fruits and snacks, and even meals during dining hours. Rocky, can you come here for a moment? Serena's voice was weak, even trembling. I could feel her holding back pain through the phone. I knew it was time to take action. What's wrong? My water broke. I think I'm going into labor. I paused. Sorry, you have the wrong number. You should call your current husband. I know I can't reach him. Please, for the sake of old times, can you take me to the hospital? Serena really shouldn't have another child. When she gave birth to Alice, she nearly hemorrhaged. She went through both natural birth and cesarean twice. Suffered a lot. That's why I spoiled her so much later. Even when Alice got sick, I never asked her to have another baby. She knew her body well, but still wanted to try for Tony. Where should I pick you up? I asked deliberately. Back at our old neighborhood, Galaxy Neighborhood. Your husband really likes that place. He doesn't want the big house, just that small one. Serena smiled awkwardly. Sorry for the trouble. When I arrived, Serena was doubled over in pain on the floor. Jack tried to help her up, but was too weak and failed several times. I hadn't seen Jack for months. He looked thin and small, his complexion pale and yellow, like he was seriously ill. I pushed him aside, picked Serena up, and drove her to the hospital. Tony came to the hospital the next morning, probably having stayed up all night. His temper was bad. He saw me but did not say a word. He tried to throw a punch, but his body was too weak, and he tripped after only a few steps. He fell flat on his face, kneeling in front of me. I stood up and stomped on his face a few times. Sorry, I didn't see anyone sleeping here. Damn you. Who is a family member of Serena? The nurse's urgent question stopped Tony's curse before he finished. That's me, I instinctively replied. Tony shoved me aside. I am her husband. The mother is having heavy bleeding now. The uterus must be removed. One of you sign the consent form. The other pay the hospital fees. Who will sign? That's him. I pointed at Tony. He's the husband. I am just a bystander. Right. I'm Serena's husband. Tony glanced at me. Nurse, how much do we need to pay? Before Tony came, I had already called Haley on the phone, so I silently stepped aside and opened my phone camera. You pay 100,000 yuan first. If not enough, we'll notify you again. 100,000 yuan. Nurse, can't you avoid the surgery? We're planning for a second child, not removing it. The nurse was stunned, speechless. If you don't remove it, she will die. Is the baby a boy or a girl? If it's a boy, I can ask my mother for help. The nurse rolled her eyes at Tony, snatched the consent form away. Pay the fees by 12 noon at the latest. Why don't you tell me if it's a boy or girl, so I can ask my mom for money? Tony shouted at the nurses retreating back. I didn't expect the deputy general manager of S Group still asking his mother-in-law for hospital fees. TSK, TSK, TSK. I stepped out of the shadows, mocking Tony with a click of my tongue. Mind your own business. I warn you, stay away from Serena. All right, it's none of my business. I'm leaving. Wait, do you know the password to Serena's safe? I frowned, thinking, holding back a smile. Of course I do. Didn't she tell you? Damn bitch. I knew she was hiding from me. What's the password? Tell me. I whispered the numbers into Tony's ear, then saw him rush out of the hospital. Serena wasn't out of surgery until afternoon, just waking from anesthesia, her face pale. This time the placenta attached to the scar from the last surgery, causing massive bleeding when it separated, resulting in her entire uterus being removed. This means this will be her last child. But this child, Rocky, thank you this time. You're welcome. After all these years of friendship, I had to see you through this. Where's Tony? Is he not here yet? He's here. You need to pay the hospital fee. He went to the safe to get the money. Oh, the safe. How does he know the password? I told him. No, I want to go home. Serena tried to pull out her four, struggling to get up and walk. I held her tightly in my arms. Why do you only care about Tony? Serena, don't you care about your child? You're still so heartless, always putting men first. Hearing my words, Serena froze for a moment, then started pulling my shirt, questioning me. Yes, what about the child? Where is he? Tony's not here. You took the child, didn't you? I shook my head. He's on the top floor, in the morgue. No way. Impossible. You must be lying. Before I fainted, I heard him crying. He has to be alive. I'm going to find him. Serena tried to pull out her four again. This time I didn't stop her. I let her tug at the wound, moving slowly on the ground, pain stopping her from standing upright. Only able to walk, holding onto the wall, she kept asking the doctors and nurses where the child was. Alice. They pointed her in the direction, their eyes full of sympathy. The stairs going up. Each step took a lot of Serena's strength. Her wound began to seep blood, dropping onto the tiles, like blooming white plum flowers. I followed behind her, about 5 meters back, not rushing. Serena, this is just the beginning. At the morgue door, I held Serena again. Be good, don't look. He's ugly, really. You don't like ugly kids. Rocky, you disgust me. No matter how ugly he is still my child. He is my child. I nodded and let go of her hand, watching her tremble as she slowly opened the black sealed bag. Inside was a child, with organs turned inside out. All the organs outside the body. Horrifying and unnatural. The tiny body was curled up, and the fingers were still connected by the umbilical cord. I told you he's ugly, yet you didn't believe me. I stood behind Serena, coldly watching her push the body far away. I don't believe the doctors didn't tell you during your checkups that this child was abnormal, yet you still chose to give birth. All for Tony, right? You thought having his child would win his heart back, didn't you? Serena crouched on the ground, holding herself tightly, shivering nonstop. No, that's not true. I squatted opposite her, forcing her to look me in the eyes. No, Serena, when you abandoned Alice, did you ever think about how Alice felt? You abandoned Alice because you didn't love me, and because you loved Tony. You insisted on giving birth to an unhealthy child. Serena, what do you take children for? Do you even deserve to be a mother? No, I didn't. I only wanted the man I loved to love me back. I just wanted his love. What's wrong with that? As for the child, it's okay. I'm still young. I can have more children, as long as Tony is by my side. I still have hope. I laughed so hard my back bent. In the cold, empty room, my laughter echoed again and again, sounding eerie. Serena, you are ridiculous. Haha. Do you think the wound on your belly is from a cesarean section? No, that's the scar from your uterus removal. You, Serena, no longer have a uterus. I pointed to the child's body not far away. He's your last child. The color drained from Serena's face, fading away as my laughter rang in her ears, until she fainted. I hurriedly carried her back to the hospital bed, handing her over to the doctors for treatment. Serena, you cannot die yet. You still have unfinished business. I stayed with Serena in the hospital for 3 days, while Tony disappeared for 3 days. When Serena woke again, the police happened to arrive at the hospital. MS, Serena, your husband Tony is suspected of large-scale gambling, abuse of power, and embezzlement. We need to take him to the police station for investigation, but he disappeared 3 days ago. Do you know where he is? Every accusation the police listed felt like a heavy mountain, pressing down on Serena, making it hard to breathe. To have been at the hospital all this time. I don't know where he is. That was true. Serena had been unconscious at the hospital, unaware of Tony's whereabouts. The police asked some more detailed questions, then got up to leave. At the door, they suddenly remembered something. Oh right, Miss Serena, your son Jack was killed in a fight over debt collection. The body is still at the police station. When you feel better, please come to identify the body. What Jack he? Serena couldn't swallow her breath, starting to cough violently. I sat by her bed, helping her breathe gently, while excitedly explaining. Tony owed millions to the underground gambling boss. He had been delaying payment for months. On the day you gave birth, he opened your safe, took the money to try to gamble it all back, but lost even more. The underground boss sent thugs to pressure him to return the money. Jack saw his father being bullied, grabbed a stick and rushed over, but was knocked to the ground. Guess what happened next? He hit his head and wouldn't stop bleeding. By the time they got the money from the back room, he had already bled to death, but his head wound was small. So why did he bleed so much? Serena, didn't I tell you not to renovate Alice's room again? I gently blew warm breath into Serena's ear. My 37-degree words cut into her heart like an ice knife. Was it you? Was it you, right? Rocky, you killed Jack. Serena, how could it be me? I have been with you at the hospital all these days. I wiped the sweat from Serena's palm, slowly lowered the hospital bed, tucked the blanket in. When I got up to leave, Serena pulled me back. Rocky, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubted you. I finally understand. All these years, you were the only one who truly cared for me. Rocky, please give me another chance. I will make it up to you and Alice. Make it up. How will you make it up, boss Serena? With your broken body, or with the house the court is about to seize, or with the debts you don't even know about? Serena, do I look like a fool to you? No, Rocky. I can still earn money. I still have my position. We can still be like before, right? You stay home with Alice. I'll work and earn money for you. Alice, you still have the nerve to mention Alice. Serena, you still don't know Alice is dead. Dead? How could that be? Impossible. You said she was so beautiful, with rosy skin. I thought she was getting better. Looking at Serena lost and with her head bowed, I really wanted to choke her, to squeeze her neck so hard, to let her feel the suffocating pain of near death. But I held back, because killing someone requires killing their heart first. Serena, do you recognize this man? I played a video on my phone, Tony was on his knees before me, begging like a dog to save him. He even said it was Serena who seduced him, that he couldn't resist temptation, and foolishly abandoned his original wife. But now his ex-wife had chosen to forgive him, and if he could go abroad to find her, they would reconcile. He didn't dare contact his parents, afraid to drag them into trouble. This video was him begging me for money to buy a plane ticket. I scrolled forward casually. Another video showed Tony talking to a nurse on the day Serena gave birth. Serena bit her lip, her nails digging into her palms, her face flushed red. So you lent him money to buy the ticket. Of course, I even kindly bought the ticket for him. By now the police should have arrived. Rocky, I know whatever I say now is useless. I was too foolish. He stole my heart. I'm sorry to you and Alice. But Rocky, you know me. I am really kind. If you just give me one more chance, I won't disappoint you again. Serena, if you had stayed true to your love, I might have admired your fearless devotion. But now you disgust me. Tony was arrested by the police, confessed to all charges, and was sentenced to 7 years. But the next year, he couldn't endure the harassment from inmates, went insane, and was sent to a mental hospital. He raved every day, saying next time he would surely turn things around. After Serena was discharged, she divorced Tony, but all of Tony's debts were passed on to Serena. She worked overtime day and night, trying to pay off the debts as soon as possible. One late night, she suddenly had a stroke at the office. Massive brain damage occurred, and after rescue efforts, she became a vegetative patient. The company, out of humanitarian concern, paid tens of thousands as compensation and terminated the contract. Now Serena's aging parents still have to take care of their vegetative daughter. It's truly heartbreaking. After all this, I sold my snack stall and closed Haley's chess club. Most of the money went to Haley to pay off debts. I even pre-booked a full funeral service for myself. I came to Alice's grave, gently wiped the photo on the tombstone. Alice, you must be anxious. Daddy is coming down to be with you. I took some antibiotics, drank alcohol, and in a dizzy haze, I thought I saw Alice waving at me, like when she was little, calling out, "Daddy, come find me. Daddy is here." When I opened my eyes again, I was lying in a hospital bed, and 4 drip in my hand. Rocky, you're awake, don't move. You just had your stomach pumped. I was worried, so I came back to check. Good thing I did. Haley sat beside the bed, stirring some thin porridge, blowing on it occasionally. Rocky, don't blame me for talking too much, but the living must live well, even if it's for the sake of those who have died. We must live on for them too. I know you don't think much of me, but if you don't mind, I want to take care of you, to stay by your side. The morning light streamed through the window, casting a beautiful glow on Haley. Her delicate face blushed faintly with shyness. Alice, maybe Daddy can live again. For himself this time. You'll agree with me, won't you? The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.